Welcome to the Own It Sister podcast with the amazing life coach, Sarah Oxendine.
Aloha, everybody. How are you? Welcome to the Own It Sister podcast, episode number 13. 13 is my favorite number and the date of my birth. So lucky number 13. How exciting is this? All right. So today's topic, you guys, is connection. How awesome. So the reason I picked this topic is one, connection. Like, we're humans. We really like connection, right? We have like a need to feel connected to. And right now with everything that's going on, COVID-19, people are relocking down different places. Some of us could be feeling more connected and other of us could be feeling disconnected. And what I want to bring to your attention, and this is something my brain has been doing. My brain has actually been telling me that I'm feeling more connected to my community because of COVID-19, which is an error. I'm feeling more connected to my community because of thoughts that I'm having. Those thoughts were absolutely just as available to me before COVID-19 as they are now. But what has happened is because of COVID-19, it has made it easier for my brain to think those thoughts. Okay? I'm sorry, guys. I'm like sweating like nobody's business in here. All right, so going with the connection. So in all of our relationships that we have, whenever we're feeling connection, it is because of thoughts that we're having. It is not because of the person. Now, for those of you who are going to be like, no, but like, I just really connect more with some people than others. Or no, I just feel disconnected with my husband because he is not connecting with me, right? Those are all thought errors. And let me explain. So when you are feeling connected to someone, it has nothing to do with the person. It has to do 100% is your thoughts about that person. So let's say your husband has been stressing out because of work, right? COVID-19 is happening. Maybe he has more to take on at work and he's feeling super stressed out. So he doesn't want to bring that home to you. So when he comes home from work, let's say you ask him, hey, honey, how was your day today? And he's like, I don't want to talk about it. And then you have a thought about him saying, I don't want to talk about it. That thought is causing you to feel a certain way. It is not him saying, I don't want to talk about it. Okay? With all of our coaching, right? We can't control other people or how they feel, but we can control how we feel. And when we're feeling connected or disconnected to someone, it's because how we are feeling. It's because of how we are thinking about it. So let's say that husband, he says he doesn't want to talk about it. Then we think, oh my gosh, he's disconnecting from me. That's a thought. It's optional. You don't have to think that. You could choose to think something different. But when you do choose to think that, then you have a feeling like, oh, now I feel disconnected from him because he's not talking to me about what's going on. Then when you feel disconnected, you act a certain way. Maybe you start to push him away. Maybe you create some distance between the two of you. Maybe you give him the cold shoulder, right? You act a certain way because of a thought that you're having, but most likely you're blaming him for why you're feeling disconnected. So let's just say your husband comes home and he says the exact same thing. He said, you ask him, hey, how's your day going? And he's like, I don't want to talk about it. And instead of thinking, oh my gosh, he's disconnecting from me, instead you're like, oh my gosh, I just love him so much. I hope, what can I do to help him? Or you could just think, oh yeah, it's not a big deal. He doesn't want to talk about it. That's totally fine. Thank you. Thank you for not sharing that with me because maybe you don't really actually want to know. Okay. And then those of you who are like, no, I really want to know. He needs to tell me, blah, blah, blah. What I want to tell you is those thoughts aren't helping you because he doesn't want to tell you. You could choose to think something different about it. So if you want to feel connected towards him, your work is changing your thoughts to thoughts that are feeling connection towards him, even when he doesn't want to share things with you. Okay? Let's say this was with the child. Maybe for any of you who have teens or tweens, right? And maybe you have certain phases of children. Maybe it's all your children. Maybe it's some of your children. Maybe when they go through certain phases, I'm just going to be dabbing myself occasionally, guys, because I am like super hot. Where you feel like it's so hard to connect with them. And you think it's because of your child. No, your child's totally lovable, totally all of the time through all of the phases. Your thoughts about it are what are making it harder for you to feel connected to them. And their thoughts about you are what's making them feel more harder to feel connected towards you. So something that I do in my home with our children, my husband and I both do, when we notice that one of our children, there's more bickering than normal between us and them, or me and the child, right? I take that kid on dates. We go on walks. We play games. We do things to help build the connection, is what we would say. But here's what I want to teach you. What's happening there is we're creating opportunities to have thoughts of connection through taking the action. It isn't actually the action that is making us connected. It's our thoughts that are changing because our actions are making it easier to have connecting thoughts. Stay with me. So before, when my child is acting out and there's all this bickering, I could have chose to still think those connecting thoughts towards my child through all of whatever's going on. Instead of ever feeling disconnected, I could choose to do that. But there's certain actions we could take that makes it easier for our brain to think the connecting thoughts, even though those thoughts are available all of the time. And as we're raising our children, right, we want to help create opportunities for our children to have more connecting thoughts towards us as well. So let's say there's this child, right? And so now we're spending this time together. We're doing these things together. We're going on dates. We're, maybe playing volleyball or basketball, playing games. We're talking. So what happens, it creates this opportunity to now our child has different thoughts about us than they did before. Because maybe the thoughts before we were doing these connecting actions that are causing us to think connecting thoughts. Maybe what the child before was thinking is, my mom doesn't understand me. She's always yelling at me. Her demands are too high. And maybe my thoughts were, my child's lazy, disrespectful, they don't listen. When I think those thoughts, when my child thinks those thoughts, it's hard for us to connect, right? But when we start spending more time with each other, we start seeing each other from a different light, therefore creating new thoughts. It isn't that the thoughts weren't always available. It's just that now it's easier to think those thoughts because those actions are creating opportunities to more easily have connecting thoughts. Do you see what I'm saying? So the actions that are helping create those more connecting thoughts is helpful. It's only helpful because it's making it easier to think those thoughts, but those thoughts are available at any moment, even without the action. So with our kids, right, that might be a little bit easier, especially depending on their age, right? It's much more easy to get your 10-year-old possibly to go on a date with you than maybe your 17-year-old or your 18-year-old. They may not want to. So different phases, different ages, but creating opportunities to have those to build connecting thoughts is super important. So even with your spouse or your mom or your sister or whoever, you may think, oh, but we haven't been able to go out on dates and we haven't been able to go do these things, so we're not able to connect. Or maybe he's gone traveling, right? So you don't have that physical touch, so you're not able to connect in that way. Here's the deal. You can have just as profound connecting thoughts as if they were physically there. You can create that because they're all in your brain. He can choose to not talk to you and you can still think connecting thoughts towards him if you want. You can have a mother who doesn't talk to you. You could think connecting thoughts towards her, about her. You could feel very connected with her, even if she's not talking to you. I know this is true because I have a biological father that I never knew. I've never physically hugged him. I've never physically, in real life, had a conversation with him, sharing my life with him, face to face, ever. But I feel very connected to him. I feel like I know him. And yet I have never physically done any of that. So I know it is possible to have a very intimate relationship with someone where you feel very connected. You feel like you know each other, even when there hasn't been the physical side hasn't been there. I know after I die and I get to meet my biological father, I'm going to hug him and just feel like I know him. And it's because I talk to him now. It's because I have connecting thoughts about him now, even though I never really was able to have those thoughts or will have that relationship in the real life. Also, let's go back to when you were like 12 and you just like loved this person. Did you ever have a crush on someone when you were like 12? Maybe they were real. Maybe you knew them. Maybe they were at school. Maybe you had a poster of them on your wall, but like you loved them, like you wanted to marry them. You knew everything about them and you were very connected, right? Did that person even know you existed? No. But you had all these connecting thoughts and it had nothing to do with the other person. Because when you feel connected to someone, it doesn't have to do with them. It has everything to do with you. Your thoughts about that person are what make you feel connected, not their thoughts about you. They have connecting thoughts because of their thoughts. Here's another one. Have you ever had someone love you and you didn't love them back? They want to have a relationship with you. They just know you're meant to be and they just love you. They have all of these loving thoughts. They feel very connected to you. And you're like, listen, seriously, I'm not interested. No. Like you don't feel any of that. So what they think, what they feel towards you, all of their connection, all of their love they have, you can't feel that because you don't have it back. So sometimes we get confused. We're like, no, but like I feel his love for me. I feel her love for me. Now, I do believe in energies for sure, but those energies can't even exchange without the thoughts. I can't feel. Even if I feel your energy, I then have thoughts about that energy that I'm feeling, right? Spiritual connections, all of those, we're still coming down to having thoughts about what we're feeling. Actually, even if it's like, let's say like I'm feeling your energy. Oh, because sometimes what happens, right? We're like, oh, I really click with this person. Like they really get me. Or like, oh, that person, oh, snap, that's not really my type of person. Both of those people, totally lovable, all in their own way, for sure. Nothing about them is unlovable. They are 100% lovable. The difference is your thoughts about those people. It's not the people. It's you, all of it. It's not good or bad. It's totally fine. Either way, it's not good or bad on them. It's not good or bad on you. It just is. But don't be fooled. It's because you're having thoughts about them and it's causing you to feel a certain way. And just like we were talking about earlier, some people make it easier for us to have connecting thoughts about them. It isn't like those thoughts aren't available all the time for all the people. Those thoughts are available. But some people, by their actions, by the things they say, they do, their energy that they put off, it just makes it easier for us to have thoughts, connecting thoughts towards them. Not that those connecting thoughts aren't always available with or without any of that, okay? The reason this is such amazing news is because, guys, I'm like literally in a sauna, just so you guys understand. I don't even know how hot it is in here, but it's really hot. So excuse my literal, like, do I look like I just swam in a swimming pool? Whatever. Okay. All right, so this is why it's such good news. It only takes one sane person to have an amazing relationship. And it's because your relationship with anyone is because of your thoughts about them. That's it. It's not their thoughts about you. It's not like, oh, it's not just easier. It's only easier because the thoughts are easier for you to have connecting thoughts about them. That's it. But those thoughts, again, are equally available for every person on planet Earth. Not that you have to have them for every person. But if there's someone in your life that you want to feel more connected to, that you're not feeling connected to, 100% that's in your control. And your brain's going to want to tell you, no, this is not true. They're very difficult. They've done these things, and it's very hard for me to be and feel connected to them because they're not, they don't behave however it is that you want them to behave. Those are all thoughts in your head. Not true. You can choose to feel connected to whoever you want or disconnected to whoever you want. All optional, all on you. If there are people in your life that you want to feel connected to, you can feel connected to them simply by thinking connecting thoughts. So here is my suggestion for you. I want you to think of a person that you want to feel more connected to. Maybe it's your husband, maybe it's a child, maybe it's a mom, a father, a mother, a father, a sister, a friend, whoever. But you want to feel connected and you're not feeling the connection. This is what I want you to do for 5 minutes every single day. I want you to sit and meditate, thinking only connecting thoughts about that person. Not doing anything, Like I'm not saying to go and call them or say anything, nothing at all. They don't have to do anything. And they don't even tell them you're doing this. This is just personal for you. And I want you to see what changes. I want you to see what changes as you decide for 5 minutes a day on this special person who you want to increase your connection with. I want you to think connecting thoughts. Don't tell them that you're doing it. Do it privately on your own. Think connecting thoughts about them. Your brain's going to want to go to the disconnecting thoughts. Your brain is going to want to go, oh yeah, but they're not talking to you and they said this and they shouldn't have and blah, blah. You got to mother your brain, sister. You got to mother your brain. You got to reel it in. Be like, no. I'm thinking connecting thoughts because I want to feel connected to them. Because if you do not deliberately choose connecting thoughts, you will continue to feel disconnected and you're going to continue to blame them. It's not their fault. It's your fault. You got to own that. If you want to feel connected, that's on you. You can. It's available. If you don't, that's fine. Nothing's wrong with that. But if you want to, I just want you to know you can about anything. Okay? So, what would that look like? Let's say if I have a child and then I'm feeling disconnected too. Okay? If I want to meditate to feel more love and connection towards this child, then my thoughts are going to be thoughts like, I want to feel connected towards her. I'm telling you, it's going to take thought. You're going to have to really sit down. You might want to write down a list of things first, but you're really going to need to pay attention because especially if you feel very disconnected, your brain has been by default thinking of all the disconnecting thoughts for so long. You're going to have to dig deep. You're going to have to dig deep. But I'm telling you, if this relationship is worth it, it will be worth it for you to take the time to find the connecting thoughts. And especially if you're really struggling, you might have to be very creative, right? Like I loved holding her when she was a baby. Maybe she's 16 and really mouthy now, right? You might have to go to her. As a toddler, she was the cutest and we really hung out a lot. Like, whatever the thoughts are that help you feel connected, you have to think of those. And when those sneaky ones come in that want to be like, yeah, but you know what? She just told you off today and blah, blah. No. You're like, no. But she was so adorable when she was 5. And ultimately, I know that she is just, finding herself and learning how to be this amazing woman. And she's going to make good decisions at some point in her life. And, but you're just really dig deep and just find them and focus, meditate 5 minutes every day. And what you will find is miracles will happen and they won't need to change at all because they're not the problem. It's all the thoughts in your head. Okay? Which means you have total control. If this is your spouse, you're going to need to think connecting thoughts towards him. And when you think connecting thoughts, you guys, towards this person that you're working on, what will happen is because your thoughts are going to be different, your actions towards them will be different. Because when you're feeling disconnected towards someone, your thoughts are disconnecting and you behave in a disconnected way. But when you really feel connected to someone, it doesn't matter what they're doing, but you feel connected to them, you show up differently. You will show up differently. And so that's my challenge and my work for you guys this week is to, for 5 minutes a day, pick a person that you're feeling disconnected. I want you just pick one. I want you to work on one for an entire week. Every day for 7 days, for 1 week, for 5 minutes, connecting thoughts. Think the connecting thoughts. Think the connecting thoughts. And then just go about your day. And do it again every day. And if you have any questions, leave some comments below. I will answer them. But I would love to hear how this whole experience and experiment goes for you. My name is Sarah Oxendine. I have a program called the Own It Sister Program, and I work with mothers who are, whether you are debating if you want to get divorced, whether you're in the middle of a divorce, or whether you're newly divorced. I'm here to help you through that journey. There's a lot of shifting, a lot of mind work, a lot of support that you need when you're going through this phase of your life. And so I'm here to help you rock through it and to help you manage your mind so it can become a good growing experience for you. It will be painful, but you will have the support to help you through it. So if you're interested in working with me, I got a 6-week program that's going to start in September. So let's get it together. Call me, the number below, and let's get you signed up for my 6-week program. We use essential oils, we use supplements, all of the things are provided for my program, and it's totally worth it and amazing. But the essential oil for feeling connected emotionally is marjoram, vetiver, cedarwood, geranium, birch, lime, ylang-ylang, whisper, and holiday joy. How you would use these oils, you guys, for about 2 years, probably 3 to 5 times a day, I put marjoram on my chest. And I know that had a big part with my healing with my biological father, and then also why I feel so connected to him now. I was using that oil. And again, it wasn't like it just happened overnight. Like I said, I would use that oil for like 2 years, 3 to 5 times a day on my chest. I also did forgive on my third eye. And I used some other oils also, but marjoram is here for connected emotionally, so that was good for me. I also do ylang-ylang right here underneath my earlobes, and lime in the diffuser. I love lime and I drink lime also. But any of these oils, pick the ones that you love the most, and you can put them on your wrists, put them over your heart, and under your earlobes. You can put it in your hair and use that as a diffuser. And you know what, you guys, I really love lime, but I don't love the way lime smells with my skin. Right? I love it in the diffuser. So you're going to want to know, you might love the way an oil smells bottle, but then when you put it on your skin with just like your natural oils, you may not like the way that smells. So play around with that. And here's something I want to tell you guys to tell yourself, okay? So when you're working on this, feeling connected emotionally, I want you to say this to yourself. Who or what am I disconnected from? What is preventing me from this connection? I am now allowed to connect with and listen to my inner voice. I am now safe to connect my body, mind, and heart. See a network of light connecting your mind, heart, and gut. Listen to your breath. So that is what I want you to do while you're using the oils. And while you're using the oils, and again, doTERRA essential oils, those are the ones I recommend. You can message me and I can help set you up if you're interested. But I want you to use those, and I want you to, if you already have oils, use them. And I want you to, for 5 minutes every single day, think connecting thoughts about a specific person that you want to grow your connection with. Remember, the reason you feel connected with anyone is only because of the thoughts you're having about them, which is great news for you. Have an amazing day. If you want to work with me, let's get you set up. Message me, call me below. My number's below in the comment. Where is it? In the description below. All right. Have an amazing day. Own it, sister.